Shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahar Kadash. Give honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the women and children, and the confusion of faith who follow. So as you can see, this lesson is pertaining to the scripture, being wise as the serpent, but harmless as a dove. I have the scripture queued up, so Lord's will is going to be an edifying video. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Now, the reason why I'm doing this lesson is, being in His truth. You know, you don't have to feel like you have to be super Israelite all the time. Okay, I like to compare it to being Clark Kent when it's time to be Clark Kent, and being Superman when it's time to be Superman. All right, don't ever be afraid to put that cape on. But when you working at the Daily Planet, you need to be Clark Kent. So, um, the scripture says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." Right, because we do know that we have an enemy. All right, and as the scripture says. Let me pull it up over here. It's gonna be a little bit easier for me. Bible shall work with me. Uh, this is Ecclesiasticus 12:8. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Right. So we understand that we live in a society full of wickedness, right? Full of wicked people, individuals, doctrines, different things that come about you. So when it's time to turn up, definitely turn up. But when it's time to, be docile, be calm, be cool. Okay, so I just want to go into the history um, and show the separation that we've always had and why it's important to maintain that separation. But it's also important to, it's a balance with everything. Like I said, so Lord's will, this is going to be an edifying video. Um, let's go back to the beginning. This is Genesis 43, and I'll start at 31. This is when, Joseph, he had just met his brothers. They came down to Egypt, and they're going to eat supper. Okay, so um, this is right when he just entered into the chamber. He's wiping his tears. He can hold his emotion back. But verse 31, it says, "And he washed his face and went out and refrained himself and set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for it is an abomination unto the Egyptians." So, if you can imagine, you have the brothers, the 12 tribes over here, and they're eating, and then you have the Egyptians over here, and they're eating. They're not eating at one long table or intermingle. A couple brothers over here and a couple Egyptians over there. No, they're totally separate because that's the custom. All right, we are the Lord calls us what, a peculiar people, a special people unto Himself, above all nations. So we have no dealings with the heathen. Okay, and this is a clear cut case. They sat at separate tables for a reason. All right, let's get another example. This is John, St. John chapter 4, verse. He says, "Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which I'm a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealing with the Samaritans." Right? She's like, "How are you? I don't understand how you're going to ask me for something when we don't mess with each other like that." So historically, we don't mess with the other nations like that. We are Israel. We are separate. We are holy. All right, we are apart from the other nations, but we're not in our kingdom. We're not in the ancient kingdom. We're not in the future kingdom, which is going to be a forever kingdom of righteousness. We are not there yet. Well, what stage are we in? Let's get this. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 13. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is towards the north." And that seething pot represents America, all right, which they call America the what? The great melting pot, where you have individuals from every nation under heaven. Or you have, you know, Judah and the northern tribe, you have the southern tribe, you have Edomites and Elamites and Moabites and you know Hamites. You have everybody, all peoples in one nation. So it's very difficult for you to separate yourself. The only time we really get to enjoy our customs, enjoy our mannerisms is when we are at camp, or if we're uh, chilling out with the brothers with the Akim. Okay, so that's that's when it's time to put your cape on, when you're doing a lesson, when you're teaching on the highways, when you're at camp with the brothers. Okay, yeah. Now I'm not saying that only be an Israelite at camp and the other 5 days be a nigga. No, that's not what I'm saying. Please don't get me wrong. You keep the law, statutes, and commandments to your best abilities all the time. You be that Israelite outside of camp as well as in the camp, but you don't have to wear your fringes to work. You don't have to tell everyone, yeah, I'm an Israelite, or look, you're an Edomite, you're going to slavery, this, that, and the third. Now, if they ask you, don't hold it back, but you don't have to go, portraying this, to your job or whatnot, which could do what? You can get fired. You can lose your job. Somebody can get offended and go say, "Oh, he's racist and this, that, and the third." You lose your job, and now what? Now you're the Akim has to help you. You're kind of a burden, not really a burden, but it could have been prevented by using prudence. That's what we're really talking about here. Using prudence to pick and choose when it's time to be Clark Kent and when it's time to be Superman. What does the scripture say about it? This is Romans 12 and 18. It says, if it be possible, if it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. So if you can get along with, your neighbor at work, and he may be, a so-called Chinese man, or a so-called white man, an Edomite. Hey, get along with him. That don't mean you got to befriend him. That don't mean you got to go to the bar with him when y'all get off. But just know and understand that we are sheep amongst wolves, and we do have enemies. But it's imperative that you use prudence and that you stay on 10, and you pick and you choose your spots, man, like a master boxer. You just go in there and you just swinging at everything, you're gonna get knocked out. But if you are picking and choosing your spots, when to punch and when to block, when to circle, when to put some distance between you, you're gonna put yourself in a position to win, and that's what we need to do, is put ourselves in a position to win. Okay, we have bills to pay. We are in slavery. All right, we're subject under payments. A lot of brothers on child support, just that and the third. House note, car note, phone bill, internet. So on and so forth. We know I don't have to explain this to you. But the the point that I just want to hammer home is, you know, definitely don't deny the word. You know, if you're asked, tell the truth. Explain what you're doing, or what it is that you do, or what it is that you believe in, what we believe in. But you don't have to to wear it on your sleeve so that this it could hinder you. Like I said, you don't have to wear your fringes to work. You don't have to be, super Israelite in the face of your coworkers or at the daycare or something like that. Hey, just use prudence. All right. Even David, David used prudence. And this is something that the brother brought up, the brother Rai, when he was caught and he played mad. He was like kind of yelling and like almost spitting and foaming at the mouth. Spit was all in his beard, and it thought that he was crazy. Like, hey, this is a crazy man. He had to play that role, and that's what we have to do when we're in society. We got to play that role. You know, there may be a topic to come up that you want to speak on. And you got to hold your tongue because it ain't gonna do nothing but gender strife. It ain't gonna do nothing but, you know, it's vain at the end of the day. I find myself a lot of times, not to make this about me, but I'll be scrolling on social media and I want to put my 2 cents in and I'll start typing, and then I'm like, man, it's not even worth it. What are they really gonna get out of it? They're not gonna get nothing out of it. Now if I think it's something that can be used or can be said to build someone up, I definitely will say it. But you know, I'm just not about tearing people down that didn't need to get tore down at that time. When if you do say something to them, they're not going to listen anyways, and the Lord's going to take care of them. But with that being said, Lord, this was an edifying video, and we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Karkadash. The honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, and the confusion of faith who follow. Shalom.